Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting of December 2nd, 2025 to order. If you'll join me in standing, the mayor's going to lead us in a prayer and the pledge.
Please bow with me. Lord, thank you once again for the wonderful city that we live in. Thank you for the staff that keeps it running smoothly and keeps it looking so nice. Thank you for the first responders that protect us on a daily basis, and please watch over them, and please give council the good decision-making rights tonight. As we go into this Christmas season, we remember what the real reason for the season is, and it's all about you, Lord. And all we do in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Kathy, could you call the roll, please?
Mayor Schuler.
Here.
Bishop.
Here.
Carlisle.
Here.
Avery. Klobuchar.
Here.
Stewart.
Here. All right. If there's anyone in the audience who has something they'd like to speak about that is not an agenda item, you can fill out a public comment form up here and give it to Clerk Haley, and we'll get to public comment later in the meeting. Mayor's report.
Just a few things going on. If you haven't been downtown, 6 o'clock, the lights come on. They did a good, Jeremy did a great job downtown and really put some LED lights, and it's really a lot brighter. So, and they put some extra little doilies and that stuff down there. So it's really, he did a good job. So had a good turning on the lights last Friday night. Attended the ribbon cutting for the VA clinic. So those of you who haven't seen it, it's out there behind Aldi's and Home Depot. 14,000 square foot clinic and just tremendous facility. It's really kind of nice to have in Highlands County and Sebring. We have a ton of veterans in this community, so it's just good to have that. On 12th Friday, this Saturday, Toys for Tots and the Sugar Express are coming to town. It's from 2 to 5 at Fireman's Field in the football parking lot. So spread the news if you want and tell people that bring their kids. They'll have all kinds of treats for the kids and games for the kids. And from 12 to 5, and Santa Claus is supposed to be coming on the train at about 3 o'clock. So it should be a pretty cool event. And then the following Saturday is the Wreaths Across America at the Medal of Honor Park. They're doing a celebration there, and they're putting wreaths on each one of the tombstones, if you want to call it that, for a Medal of Honor winner. So it's at, I believe, at 10 a.m. in the morning. I have one other question I want to kind of get with the council and ask, and I'm going to bring this up. And thanks to the Rotary and Josh, we're getting restrooms downtown, but they're having a little trouble fundraising. So they're probably, about 50,000 short, roughly?
Approximately.
And I think the city, we need to step up and finish that project, let them continue fundraising and that stuff. But I think it's important that we get that project done as soon as we can, the events that are downtown. So I kind of like y'all's consensus about moving forward and doing that, maybe splitting it with the CRA. We can talk to them. But I really think somehow we got to get that thing going, and you guys keep collecting money and then can pay it back if you get that much. But if not, we still have to have that building done ASAP. So
I would have to abstain, of course.
Right.
I built the thing.
you know what y'all's opinion is.
Absolutely. We need some
Agree,
bathrooms.
so. Do we need a motion on that, or can staff go ahead and?
Yeah, let's get a motion.
Where, you'd have to say where the
What
money was
funding?
gonna come from, infrastructure, I'm assuming? So you'd have to make the motion that the money would come from the infrastructure fund.
Okay, I make a motion that we use infrastructure money to help do the restrooms downtown.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Kathy, can you call the roll, please?
Discussion.
Oh, yes, right. Any public comment on this one? Okay.
And let me be clear, because I was thinking and writing at the same time, the motion was to approve $50,000 out of the infrastructure
I
fund.
said to help.
What
We're
does
not
that
gonna
mean?
do the whole
Maybe.
50, are we?
Well, if we need
That's
to,
what
I
we
think
asked.
we need
Okay,
to.
that's fine, but I thought we was gonna discuss with CRA. See if
I'm
they,
just asking what the,
We'll
I'm
put
just
that in your
asking-
motion to inquire with the
motions.
CRA to see if they want to help
okay,
fund
well,
it.
I make a motion that we use infrastructure money to help with the restrooms and work with CRA.
amount yet to be
Fund.
But,
determined.
but,
To fund the whole
The
50,000.
yeah, for,
so if the CRA doesn't help fund, you're funding up to 50,000, is that what I'm hearing you say?
How about the fund up to 50,000?
That's what I'm
Yeah,
asking, if he's
okay.
funding up to 50,000.
that's my motion.
Okay, well, the motion wasn't clear what it
We'll
was.
approach CRA for,
Okay, but help and
We'll
50,000
approach
is-
CRA for 49.5.
Yeah.
Still second.
Thank you, Christie.
Okay, any public comment or questions on this revised motion?
Well, same, I just kept it the same motion.
Okay.
I just clarified it for me.
All right, seeing none, go ahead and call the roll.
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Avery. Oh, I'm so sorry. Colgashatz,
Yes.
Stewart.
Abstain. I am the builder of I'm the contractor for this building
And the fundraiser, so.
and the fundraiser. Yes, that's what happens when
You
you're
can put
the
it down
only
under your name.
contractor in Rotary. Okay,
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think it's gonna be an asset, a very nice asset. for
We've
downtown.
needed that for
Long time.
years.
Yes.
and I guess to give you guys an update on where we're at, we're probably 70% complete. We have been a little bit halted for fundraising. They're going to be pavers in the front entryway, and we can't open the building without them because it's not ADA compliant until they're installed. There's a 4-inch or 3.5-inch gap, but we're moving. So hopefully,
How much is the paver?
they range from $100 to $1,000. There's different ones. I think we fundraised around 30, low 30s, and that our goal was 80. And the club was backstopping 50,000 on top of that. Anything else, Mr. Mayor?
Nope, that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to council members' reports. Mr. Carlo, Ms. Colachatz,
Nope.
Mr. Bishop.
Just pumped about this agenda today.
All right. And, all right, I have nothing either.
Wow.
Ready to get
I've
through
never
it.
heard that one before.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. Are there any questions or comments from council on the consent agenda? Is there anything from the public on the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Kathy, can you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Colgashatz.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes. All right, there is no old business. We're going to move on to new business, starting with item number 10A. This is a public hearing in ordinance number 1565. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. And, Mr. Swain, I think you're up.
let me see if I can find it. Which one is it?
It is 10A.
10.
Ms. May?
Well,
That's,
I've got 10A here,
Okay.
so I assume that's it. And a yellow sticky on it so I could find
Yeah.
it if I'd bothered to look. Okay, this is entitled An Ordinance of the City of Sebring, Florida, changing the future land use from high-density residential mixed-use redevelopment to downtown mixed-use redevelopment and removing a site-specific condition in the City of Sebring Comprehensive Plan, future land use element specific to 139 North Ridgewood Drive, Sebring, Florida, which is lots 5, 6, and 7, block 48, town of Sebring, Highlands County, Florida, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Bush.
Well, good evening. My name is Stephanie Von Pileski Bush. I'm with the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. And so this is the site of the old Nansasui Hotel. Trying to spell it correctly.
Did good.
And so there's two items that you'll hear tonight. Obviously, the first one is the future land use amendment. And the second one has to do with the zoning, so. There we go. Okay. And so, as you know, it's 139 North Ridgewood. It's about just under half an acre, 0.43 acres. And currently, the future land use is high density, mixed use redevelopment, and the proposed change is to downtown mixed use. And next slide. So the site is also in the historic overlay district, and a developer has submitted plans to develop the site with about 7,007, which is an odd number, square feet of retail and commercial uses. And so the site was originally planned for residential and commercial, about 50 residential units and then some commercial and a fitness center and various and sundry other things. So the CRA is requesting that the future land use map be changed from high density mixed use residential redevelopment to downtown mixed use. So kind of eliminating all of the residential items off of that. And also removing a site, there's a site specific, and we'll get to that in just a second. There's a site specific phrase in the comp plan for this site, and so we're getting rid of that. And so, so the existing future land use, as I said, it's high density mixed use redevelopment, and that the description on that is that it's energy efficient compact mix of residential and non-residential development. And the residential uses are actually up to 117 dwelling units per acre. And then the non-residential uses can use up to 25% and be complementary to the primary residential uses. And you all know, I mean, obviously you all know where it is, but as you can see, everything around it is, the purple is the downtown mixed use, and only that little square is the high density residential. So the proposal is to change it all to the downtown mixed use. Okay, so this is the site specific text amendment that's proposed to be removed, and it discusses the maximum residential density. Building height shall be not exceed 60 feet, up to 25% of the project may consist of non-residential uses, and then the maximum floor area ratio shall be 6. So that will all be removed. And then, so the proposed future land use is downtown mixed use redevelopment, as I said, and that allows actually residential densities up to 40 units per acre, and then for non-residential, it's retail, commercial, institutional, public, office, those types of things, and it'll just match everything else that's surrounding it. Yes, so the facility analysis, so all the water and sewer is available, the wastewater and transportation and drainage, it's all available on, around the site. And then here are your motion options for this, and then the next one will be the land development portion of it, the zoning portion. And I can answer mostly, probably any questions.
All right. Before we move on to council questions, are there any questions or comments from the public on this? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the public hearing. Now, any questions or comments from council? I'll make a comment. I think we're all really excited for the CRA selection here and Mr. LeBlanc and what is going to be built. And this matches, I think, the downtown really, really well.
I agree.
Exciting.
I think
sure.
you'd
Get
be
something on
hard to find someone who would disagree with you.
Right. All right. If there's no questions or comments, I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve ordinance number 1565 on first reading, schedule second and final reading December the 16th, 2025.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Kathy, can you call the roll?
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Colchester,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes. All right, we're going to move on to item number 10B, public hearing and ordinance number 1566. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. Mr. Swain.
Okay, this ordinance number 1566 entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Sebring, Florida to amend and approve planned unit development for the property located at 139 North Ridgewood Drive, Sebring, Florida." That's lots 5, 6, and 7, block 48, town of Sebring, Highlands County, Florida, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date. First reading.
Okay, again, Stephanie Von Pulaski Bush with the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. As you just heard, this is the zoning portion, of this request, and the two requests, the two ordinances will walk hand in hand. The zoning is to amend the existing plan development, and then it will allow about 7,007 square feet of retail commercial space. So the existing zoning is plan development, and it's approved for 50 dwelling units and about 4,200 square feet of commercial. And then the proposed zoning is an amended planned unit development to allow for approximately 7,000 square feet of commercial and retail uses. And then, as you can see, everything around it is commercial, and then this is just the little PUD section. So it'll still be PUD, but it'll just be different. It'll be changed. So on the next slide. Okay, so the site, so this will also have site-specific conditions, and so the maximum retail is about 7,007 square feet. Maximum building height is 50, shall not exceed 50 feet. Maximum impervious surface ratio is 1, and the development needs to meet the design criteria in the CRA. And then of the allowable uses include professional offices, restaurants, cafes, small retail stores, clothing, gift shops, and that sort of thing. And then on the next slide, we've got some more conditions. So the maximum floor area ratio allowable shall be 1. Stormwater facilities have to get an approved environmental resource permit from the Southwest Florida Water Management District, and then a developer's agreement is required. And then on the next slide, so we've got a few more conditions. Access onto a state road, so obviously they have access onto State Road 17, which is Ridgewood Drive, and that needs to be approved prior to development by the DOT. The developer shall develop a facade consistent with the surrounding uses and approved by the Historic Preservation Committee. And then all applicable development design improvements standards shall be established by the code, shall be addressed at the time of development. So the city has to, all the way it looks has to be approved, basically. And then on the next slide.
If you don't mind, I want to jump in on 8.
Oh.
So,
Yes.
I don't think the developer is going to be asking for access to State Road 17. There's not going to be access on State Road 17. May still have to go through some FDOT concurrency, but will not need access on 17. So,
And here's very difficult to read site plan. Actually, if you go to the next slide, we've got some basic elevations from the developer, and then this was also given to us by the developer, what it could possibly look like. So the buildings are kind of set back, as you can see, a little bit, and then some green area in the middle. I mean, this is not set in stone either, but it's just a kind of a concept plan of what it could look like.
So, the Airstream will be bordering Sadie-Con Park? Is that kind of the idea there? Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
We're gonna have to have you come up to
Yeah.
the mic. I'm sorry.
That's my fault.
Sorry. So,
And sorry, could you state your name for the
yeah.
record?
Ken LeBlanc, ex-Urban Construction and developer of this project. The Airstream. The idea is you can walk back and forth between the park and this plaza. So as opposed to bringing a building straight up to the sidewalk, I didn't like that idea. So I kept it back and I used but I had to get some more retail in there. So that's why I came with the idea of the food truck and the Airstream, so I could still have leasable spaces without turning my back to the park, right? And incorporate a connection, which I thought would work better for everybody. And I know she said this is concept plan, but actually this is the plan. You know, we're doing drawings on this. I already have my site. My engineering plans were dropped off today. Ready to submit. My architectural plans are in process. So, you know, what you see is what I intend to build.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. Stephanie, were you complete with your presentation? Okay. Are there any questions or comments from the public on this? All right, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the public hearing. Any questions or comments from council?
Love it.
All right. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 1566 on first reading and schedule second, final reading for December the 16th, 2025.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Catherine, can you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Overbaugh,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes. All right, thank you very much. We are now going to move on to item number 12A, termination of development agreement with Short Pants Development LLC. Mr. Swain.
Yeah, this is to finalize the agreement. It's going to terminate the existing development agreement for the property that you just passed the ordinances on in preparation for an agreement with the new developer. So I need a motion and second to pass an ordinance to, not pass an ordinance, but pass the termination.
All right, any questions or comments from the public on this? Anything from council? I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion we approve the attached termination of development agreement between the City of Sebring and Short Pants Development LLC.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a
I
second.
wasn't paying attention,
I
sorry.
see that.
Kathy, can you call the roll, please?
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Overbaugh,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
It's okay. You gave me a chance to, do something there.
All right, moving on to item number 13A, Administrator Nalick.
Good evening, council. Attached is the project report. In black, bolded is the changes that we've made. So relocation of the public works utilities. Staff is working on scheduling site visits for other public works utilities in the state. And I believe we've actually scheduled that for next week for a couple facilities. I believe Claremont and Mount Dora, I believe, are the two we're going to visit next week. Next item, RFQ seeking to create a library of professional architects has been issued. And that's in preparation for the SunTrust building and ultimately probably the public works utility site as well. The Widener Law Firm is working on 10 properties provided by code enforcement, and I think I sent you all an email earlier today in reference to where they are on one of those properties. Otherwise, everything else is the same. Jamie Cook, our purchasing agent, did ask me to let everybody know that we have made a vendor registration platform change. So the City of Sebring has officially transitioned from vendor registry to BidNet Direct for solicitation notifications. All current and prospective vendors must register with BidNet Direct to continue receiving information about city bids, quotes, and solicitations. Registrations from vendor registry will not transfer, and vendors who do not register on BidNet Direct will no longer receive notification. BidNet Direct offers improved communication, expanded vendor networks, and an easier process for tracking and responding to city solicitations. Pre-registration options are available, and if there are any questions, they can be directed to Jamie directly.
Is that effective immediately, or is that for a point in the future? Okay. I had a question on the Public Works building. The Public Works Department has kind of a rough sketch of their concept plan.
Correct.
Right, okay.
They do.
And the idea is they're gonna visit some others to see what works
Yes.
in reality and adjust before we get with an architect.
Correct.
Great, okay.
Correct.
Any other questions, for Scott? Any questions from the audience? Okay, thank you, sir. We're gonna move now on to, last but not least, item number 14A, Clerk Haley.
Spend paying of bills, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Colchester,
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes. Thank you, this meeting is adjourned.